a sec.
This is amazing. Hello.
What's up, man? Ready to go?
Yeah. So you want to explain where we're going today?
Yeah. So it's weird. I'm not used to talking about the place because we don't normally get visitors because it's freezing, far away, very cold and wet, and it's just a barn. So we're going to my dad's car barn collection over in Darrington. So should be pretty exciting.
This is Josh, by the way. I don't think I've introduced him to my YouTube channel, but I will link his channel in the description. You guys can go subscribe to him because he makes amazing content. He put out a video not too long ago about this car collection, and I saw the video and I was like, I'm so excited to see some of these cars. I've always wanted to kind of check out a car collection, especially one kind of in progress like this. There are a lot of cars that are, you know, pre-restoration and post-restoration and in the works, and I want to see all of it. I was running low on content, so I was like, hey, what if I just caught a ride with Josh out here and went out to the collection and got to see some of the cars, maybe make a few different videos, maybe some different styles that I haven't tried yet. There are plenty of cars that were in your video that I've never seen in my life. And you guys have seen my Saab. You guys know how I like old, weird European cars, and there are plenty. So I'm really excited. We're riding along in Josh's Celica right now, which is a fantastic car.
It's an okay car.
You keep saying it's okay, but it's got cheese grater side exit exhaust, which is the coolest thing. Official, we're here. This is the barn right here. Of course, the Celica, a 924, kind of makes me wish I ever got to drive mine. I'd love to experience one, but it's really cool to see another 924. And then there are more cars in this building here. So I'm gonna kind of walk around, get myself oriented, and then probably break out the Ronin, do a bunch of cinematics. So there may be a break in the vlogs here. I'm still doing it all on the same camera, so I'll get myself oriented and then get into things. Oh, this is so cool. Oh.
I'll get going in a sec.
This is amazing. Oh my god. There's a lot of... This is Josh's Fiat. There's so many. This is really cool. Now, forgive me as I'm going around here. I don't know what most of these cars are. I'm kind of being introduced to a lot of them firsthand. Everywhere I look, there's some weird car that I haven't seen before. This has got to be my favorite. This is beautiful. Look at that. Corvair. I almost got myself a Corvair and then didn't. This is really cool too. This reminds me a lot of Dale's Starlet. But wow, some of these are just so cool. Of course, an RX-7. I've always wanted an FB, so it's always good to see one. But this is a super cool building and everything. Dude, this is amazing. Oh, a Lancia? Wow, there's some crazy stuff here, dude. This is amazing. That is beautiful.
Dude, that thing's it's really something for sure. It's
wow.
Because there's not, I can't remember the exact number, but my dad will know. He knows definitely a lot more details, but there's only like a couple hundred or something.
Oh
let
my
alone
gosh.
in the US, I think there's like 20 or something like that.
Wow, that's so cool.
I know, it's
gorgeous.
a Fiat Ghia. It looks like a freaking like James Bond car.
Yeah. That's super crazy. No, this is the style of cars that got me into cars. It reminds me of an old Ferrari. It's got that same...
The back It's just so like weirdly sweet. Like it doesn't look real. I couldn't look at the back end because it's just like such a perfect.
Like the back end immediately, I get tastes of 250 GT Lusso, and in the front I get a lot of, I don't know, 250 GT short wheelbase. I get a lot of that look in the front. This is really, really cool to see. Okay, so what is this one?
The name's really weird. It's an Otis Lombardi.
An Otis Lombardi, which is tuned by a Barth. This is a weird car to be in. And the great thing is, shout out to Josh, he said I could kind of open up and sit in any of the cars and check them out. But this one is really, really weird. The pedals are off to the side, kind of like that Lotus I drove. The gauges are in the center. It's a 4-speed manual. The seating position is very much like the Lotus Esprit that I rode in a while ago, and forgive me for all the shaking, it's a little cold here. I'm kind of shivering, but it's all good. Very strange driving position, but really cool. You've got switches kind of everywhere. These vents, it's very small. It's about, I don't know, it's maybe a tiny bit bigger than the Cappuccino I drove, but very close to the same size. Wow, this is so cool. I want to just like... Wow, the clutch feels really weird. I don't know where reverse is or how to get into reverse, but wow. This is super cool. I'm just geeking out. This is so cool.
Or the 850, but
so
the engine here is a pain in the ass to work on because
oh, I bet. Like, look how small that is. Like, wow, look just for how bizarre the car looks. Like, you don't see anything like this driving down the street. It's just such a weird little sports car. It's like a European kind of K car size. It's that small. It is that small.
It reminds me of the Opel, but smaller.
Yeah, wow.
Kind of weird too, because
what a weird little car.
The vents can actually, you can adjust them so they kind of pop up more.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's for like airflow or what, but kind of weird.
And then of course, I saw one of these for sale on Marketplace, a bi-turbo Maserati, but it was too far from me, so I didn't even consider it. But it was like $750. I love that steering wheel. Wow, that's beautiful. Wow, is that a stock steering wheel? There's no way that's stock.
I don't know.
It has the Maserati horn button, but they might have just transferred that. It looks like a Nardi wood grain, but I don't know.
It matches so well with
it really does. If that's original, that's really cool. Wow, this shift knob's really cool. That's got to be original. That's really cool. See if I can get it to focus. Yeah. Wow. This is beautiful, dude.
I miss it so much. It's definitely a lot different than the Celica.
Dude, you're gonna have to bring it out in the spring and summer.
Yeah, I know. I actually, because I used to bring it out every summer, but I did last year just because I just got the Celica. But
yeah.
Maybe this year.
Because this is gorgeous, man.
It's got a little paint wear on the front, but other than that, it's pretty good.
I mean, it's character. Yeah. She's used. There's so many Fiat Spiders. Just everywhere, dude. This Lada's really cool. I've never seen one before. A Lada 1300 SL. It reminds me of a Datsun 510, but a little bit more boxy.
Yeah. No,
it's like a bigger Datsun 510.
It's weirdly boxy because it's like kind of cartoony, and it's because we got this one from like a museum, so it's like it was already like this.
Yeah.
It's so original. You can kind of see back here. It has the little like medical kit that came with the car.
Wow.
It has like all the stuff in it and everything. So I don't know. It came with the car. But,
this is so cool,
same
dude.
with the kind of jack and thing there. I mentioned this before, but it's just like I don't know if you can see it because it's so dark in here, but I'll turn a light on. Because the seats aren't original. They're like BMW or like Audi seats.
Yeah.
Which they like look cool and everything, but they're like way too big for this car. Because the shifter
hits the seat.
It just slaps up against every time. So it's kind of a pain in the ass, but it's, you know, they look cool, but we kind of want to put the originals back in.
Yeah.
Just because it's
wow.
not.
This thing's really so cool.
But no, I really love this car. Because I think I think it just looks like a Honda Civic. Like
It looks
mod,
like-
you know what I'm saying, but like.
I was saying earlier, it looks like a Toyota Starlet.
Oh yeah, maybe. That's
It looks almost exactly like a Toyota Starlet. I gotta avoid that.
Yeah, no,
All the nails
be
sticking up
careful.
out of the ground, but wow. It looks a lot like a Toyota Starlet. Alright, so I figured I'd take this moment to update the vlog as I'm just kind of clearing off this SD card. I filled it up already with cinematic footage because I am shooting in 4K. I have my portable charger charging my other camera battery right now. So while I'm waiting for all of this footage, this has been the most incredible experience. Seeing these cars, whether they are sitting in the barn getting ready or in the progress of being restored or the finished products that are out here, it's unbelievable to see some of these cars. As a kid, when I was first starting to get into cars, and I apologize for all the noise in the background, when I was first starting to get into cars, I was really into classics, so it's really cool to see a lot of classic cars and bring back that part of me. Not to mention that right after that I got really into exotics and European cars, and there's a lot of that here. There's a lot of cars that were designed by people that I was doing research on as a kid and looking into how these cars were built, and it's really cool to see it in person rather than just reading about it, because a lot of these cars are exceptionally rare and it's just an honor to be able to see them. So I'm going to probably walk around, give some of more of my thoughts now that I've had some time to get over the shock of all of it and get more into really looking at each car and really noticing things. And I'll probably walk around here, show you guys some of my favorites, some of the things that really impress me. Not just the work that has been put into them, here on this property, but the work that was put into these cars when they were built, because it's amazing. And we got to start with my absolute favorite of the day, which I know I've already covered a bit of, and I've covered plenty in the cinematic, so I'll throw in some of those clips here. But that would have to be this Fiat Ghia behind me. It's absolutely beautiful. This is one of the most gorgeous cars I've ever seen. And it's reminding me a lot of back in 2015, I went to Monterey Car Week and got to see a lot of cars that were kind of this same era of European cars and Italian as well, and had the same kind of design, but I never saw one of these. And it's beautiful. Just the overall design is incredible. If I back up a bit, you can kind of see the entire side profile of the car. It's beautifully designed. Some of these cutouts and such you can see were carved into the body are just gorgeous. The rear end really gives me a reminder of seeing some of those Ferrari 250 GT Lusos that I saw in Monterey. It's that very similar design. It's very Ferrari-esque. But even in the center of the steering wheel, it says Ghia. If it'll focus, let's see if I can get it to focus. Yeah, so that in the center of the steering wheel. The gauges. Everything's actually in really great condition. There's just a few things, taken out or missing here and there, but everything that is still attached is perfect. This car's in fantastic shape. Even the door cards look kind of crazy looking. Let's see if we can get that to brighten up. There we go, yeah. Wow. Just a gorgeous car. Even these turn signals are right in between the two vents behind the front wheel, and they're shaped to match the rest of the body. Just one mirror on the fender. Very classic look. This car is absolutely breathtaking to see. I already did a little bit of an insight into this thing, which is a Otis Lombardi. It's just really cool to see. It's a very unique design. Not exactly your normal conventional sports car. It's very bizarre looking. Really cool to me. just because it's one of those cars that you really won't see around. This is a good transition into another weird car that I thought was really cool, is this Lada 1300 SL. This is the first Soviet car I've ever seen. It looks kind of like a tall Datsun 510. It's very cool, especially for how original it is, and how great of condition it's in. If we pop the door open. I don't know if that's gonna stay open. Lights even come on. There's a light in the door. Wow, that's cool. But yeah, look at this crazy design. Look at these etchings into the steering wheel. It is a manual. Wow. Just excellent condition. This is another beautifully built car. It's absolutely gorgeous. The coachwork and the design is beautiful. It's a very, very big car. It's probably one of the bigger ones in here, next to that Fairlane back there, but it's huge, but it's still a two-door. It's still a coupe style car. And let's see if we can pop the door open. There we go. It's just a little sticky. Interior, you've got a matching dash to the outside of the car. You've got wood behind these gauges. This steering wheel is massive. It's huge. It's like a bus steering wheel. This kind of interesting design of the shifter. It is a manual. Just wow. Again, a car that I don't really think I'll ever see another of, because I've never seen one before. It's just beautiful. Even disc brakes all around. That's interesting. I did not expect that at all. Look how huge these front disc brakes are. Inline 6. Just beautiful. Anyway, plenty of these Fiat Spiders. There are a lot of them. I'm not going to spend too much time on them now, because we will definitely come back and do some Fiat Spider videos, because there are tons of them here, including Josh's, and we'll definitely do a video with his car. But there are some different variations. There's a Fiat Sport and Fiat Spiders. And kind of in that realm, there are a few MGs scattered in between, which is a car that I always thought about getting, just because they're not expensive, and they're fairly simple, and they're very similar to my Miata, but a little bit more classic looking, which I really like. So very cool to see. We'll probably come back to those as well as this Datsun 1600, which you guys know I like Datsuns, so this is one of my favorites. This Lancia, though, I can't remember the last time I saw a Lancia. I'm sure I saw one at Car Week, or a few at Car Week driving around, but it's been since then, since I've seen any Lancia, so this is just really cool to see. Kind of an interesting door handle. I feel like Doug Yamuro, pointing out all the weird quirks and features of these cars, but this is really cool to see. Close that up. Trying to be nice and careful. Corvair, this thing is beautiful. It's got a matching interior to the body of the car. Very clean. Very cool. This little Fiat hatch, which I actually don't know the model of. This is my first time seeing one. What do they call it? A 128 3P. I'm guessing it's just kind of the hatch version of the 128. Very cool. Reminds me a lot of Dale's Toyota Starlet, which is a design of car I absolutely love. This thing's very, very strange and kind of cool looking, and I love it. I love these small little hatches. This Fiat is a bit older. I actually don't know the model, or if it's just another Spider, like a first generation Spider or something like that. Again, I'm not super knowledgeable about old Fiats, because I never really got into Fiat, even though I was a huge Ferrari fan in there. For a while there, they were essentially the same, but very, very cool to see. I've always loved the FBRX7. So there are a few rotaries in here. There's 2 RX-8s and this FB. If you guys know me, you know I like this layout of car. Again, very similar to a Datsun 240Z, which is my absolute dream car. But the long nose, the sloping back, it just gets me every time. And every single one of these that I've driven, I've absolutely loved. And this one is beautiful. It's in excellent condition. Again, just a little bit dirty just because they've been sitting here a little while, but absolutely gorgeous. It's just amazing to be surrounded by cars like this and just have them all in one place, but just to be in the presence of cars, you know, as significant as this. Like, when am I going to see that again? It's just so cool. Alright, so the guys have kind of moved in here. They're starting to do the flooring in here. So I'm heading across the wet path over to the barn to show you guys some of my favorite stuff that's in here. And there's some amazing cars in here. Again, they are works in progress when they're in here, so they're not exactly in the best condition, but I'll have to show you guys. Some of my favorite cars in here. First off, as far as I was talking earlier about designs that reminded me of Ferrari, well, there's a Fiat Dino here, which, if you guys don't know, if you're not as Ferrari savvy as I am, because I was a huge Ferrari fan as a kid, Dino was Enzo Ferrari's tragically deceased son, and he made cars with smaller engines usually, specially designed, and called them Dinos. So this isn't a Ferrari Dino, this is a Fiat Dino. It's even got the Bertone badge. So this one was designed by Bertone rather than most, which were designed by Pininfarina. But this car is super cool to see. Again, it is the barn. They're not in the best shape, but we'll pop open the door so you guys can see inside here. Very, very cool steering wheel. Seats still intact. The amount of things that are just left in these cars, even though they're kind of dilapidated, the fact that there's original parts like this still around is kind of amazing. So this is a very special car to see. One of my favorites in here by far. But we all know how much I like Datsun Zs. And this isn't a 240. It's not quite my dream car, but it is a 280. And I have to have some appreciation for any Datsun Z. So, always cool to see a 280Z. Always one of my favorite cars. Just this entire S30 chassis was one of my favorite design eras for Japanese cars in general. Again, the long nose, the sloping back, it gets Ferrari and Alfa Romeo and Fiat and all kinds of European car vibes, a little bit of Jaguar in it, things like that. Very, very cool to see. This is the only right-hand drive car that's around here. This, I believe, is... oh god, I want to say it's a Suzuki or a Mitsubishi something. I don't know, I already forgot. But it's very cool. Again, I'm seeing a lot of these cars for the first time today and discovering what they are today. Like, first time ever. So I don't know what a lot of them are. I'm just really trying to wrap my mind around what I'm seeing. But this is really cool. This is the only right-hand drive car here. Again, very interesting. I love the fender mirrors. You guys know I'm totally weak for fender mirrors. So that's cool that they're paint matched and look OEM, which it is a Japanese car. So if in Japan they were OEM on a lot of cars. Another one of my favorite cars as far as design goes, and this one you can tell bodywork is in progress, is an Opel GT. There are actually two of them here. This is the only one that's uncovered, and it's obviously had some very recent work done, but this is the other one that's covered up. I haven't seen it, but it is here. I looked into getting a 914 for a very long time because I've always been a Porsche fan. It was never like my number one thing that I always wanted, but I have always been a fan. I have always been able to appreciate them, and you guys know I like older, weird cars. And as far as Porsches go, this is even weird, so very, very cool to see. Still has the motor in it. It's not like it's completely torn apart. It's just a little beat. But then again, I know the guys will be restoring this. So very, very cool to see. Oh, it's a BMW. Huh. I've never seen one of these. What a weird car. I love it. It has fins. It's a BMW 700 Coupe. I don't know when the next time I'll ever see one of those is. That's really, really unbelievably cool. Look at even the dash and the steering wheel. God, what a strange car. That's amazing. Other few things, just as we finish up. These Fiats back here are awesome. This one is kind of a safari themed. You see it has this really bizarre interior with zebra stripes and kind of jungle door cards. I don't know, it's got a bunch of animals on the door cards, which is kind of crazy to see. This thing's really cool. Again, reminds me of a Datsun 510, which I love Datsun 510s, so this is very similar in shape and size. Triumph Spitfire, more Fiat Spiders everywhere. There's a couple Porsche 928s, which you really don't see too often. I want to say, is this the same as that BMW, or is it like a Volkswagen? So this one I haven't really been able to figure out, because number one, it's debadged, and number two, there really isn't a ton left. I think it is another one. It's another one of those BMW 700 coupes. Wow. I had no idea there were two of them here. You guys are seeing this as I'm seeing it. That's really cool. This color is interesting. I think this would be really cool finished as like a patina. Wow, okay. And another Spitfire. But yeah, that's pretty much the barn. I'm gonna get back to finishing up the cinematic and probably get ready to get out of here. I'm probably just going to take the rest of the day and film cinematic things and do photos. You guys can always see this content before it's on YouTube on my Instagram page and my Snapchat. Both of those are always linked in the description, and you guys can go check those out because that's where I post things literally as they're happening. I have my computer here. I just edit a few photos and put them up. So, yeah, I'm going to get some photos done. I'm going to get my other lens on and finish up with the cinematics, and then I guess I'll catch up with you guys when we're getting ready to head out. Alright guys, we are headed out. It is 5 o'clock and the guys are done working. It's getting really cold. It's not heated in here, so we're all heading out. It's been amazing shooting these videos with all of these cars. Josh is just getting his Celica warmed up for the drive home. I've had the most amazing day. I will be back here once it's a little bit warmer and they start taking the cars out. So more videos to come. So be sure to subscribe, comment, like, all those things. They help me bring these videos to you. Huge shout out to Josh, who's back there getting his car ready. Huge shout out to him to bringing me down here, letting me check out some of the cars. This has been amazing. So yeah, check out Josh on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content with these cars and other content, because I put out videos as often as I can. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next video.